This object looks innocent. A simple, 100-year-old light bulb. But it's a crime scene. This bulb, and the technology it represents, is the chief suspect in one of the biggest heists in human history, the theft of our sleep. And it didn't just steal our rest. It stole the night itself and replaced it with something else entirely, modern time. Today, we're putting this bulb on trial. I'll connect the power, and as this century-old wire blushes back to life, we'll follow the evidence, from the gaslit streets of London to the factory floor, and all the way into your bedroom, to uncover how we traded deep, natural sleep for a world that never, ever turns off. This coil isn't just heat and light, it's a switch for our hormones, a lever for our wages, and the metronome for our cities. The question is, what did we really trade when we taught darkness to keep time? Our first piece of evidence starts on the streets. In 1667, Paris orders thousands of lanterns hung by royal edict. The goal? To police the night. Lamplighters became a new kind of beat cop, and darkness itself suddenly fell under an officer's jurisdiction. Light became a weapon of control. Now, fast forward to January 1807, on Pall Mall in London. A crowd gathers. A valve hisses, coal gas floods through jets, and a new kind of light coughs into existence. The air bites with tar. Moths, confused, abandon the moon and tilt toward this new, artificial flame. The crowd is silent. And then they applaud. They're cheering for a wound in the night that won't stop shining. By 1816, Baltimore is piping this gaslight into its streets. An amber dusk was spreading across the globe, a single technology extending both commerce and surveillance. But gaslight was just the beginning. The real revolution needed a filament. In 1879, Edison's carbon thread glows long enough to be useful, but the true pivot was brighter, tougher. 1904, Just and Hannah Mann invent the tungsten filament. 1910, William Coolidge figures out how to draw it into a fine wire. Suddenly, electric light could be mass-produced by the million. It outshone gas, flooded the mills, and pierced straight into our bedrooms. The electric grid began to slip under our doors the way moonlight used to. But lighting up the night wasn't enough. To truly conquer the dark, humanity had to conquer something even more fundamental: time itself. So how do you get an entire continent to agree on what time it is? You use the railroad. In 1883, U.S. railroads imposed standard time in an event called the Day of Two Noons, snapping a continent into 4 neat zones so trains wouldn't crash into each other. Suddenly, your local sun didn't matter as much as the train schedule. Then came the punch clock. Patented in 1888, by the 1890s this little machine sat like a judge at the factory gate. Your life was now measured in paper cards and punched holes. Between 1890 and 1910, the night shift, powered by the new electric light, became permanent. Your nights, your hours, your minutes were now billable. Our bodies resisted this new order, and then they yielded. Before this relentless glow, our nights looked completely different. Go back a few hundred years, and you find people in diaries talking about something that sounds alien to us now: a first sleep and a second sleep. Imagine it. You'd go to bed when it got dark, sleep for a few hours, and then wake up in the middle of the night. But you wouldn't panic. This was normal. This was the watchful rest, a quiet hour or two for prayer, for talking with your family, for thinking, before you drifted off again for your second sleep. It was a choreography fitted to cold, candles, and the real length of the night. So what happened? Did we just forget how to sleep properly? No, we didn't forget how to sleep. We were forced to reorganize our nights to match an engineered day. And the science on this is terrifyingly clear. Your body has a master clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and it reads light as a command. A 2011 study by Gooley showed that ordinary room light after dusk is powerful enough to delay your brain's production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. It literally pushes your chemical midnight later and later. Then, a 2015 study showed the blue-rich glow from our screens makes it even worse, messing with your sleep and tanking your alertness the next day. So what's the baseline? What is natural? A fascinating 2015 study looked at communities without grid lighting. They don't sleep 9 hours. They sleep 6 to 7, but their sleep is anchored perfectly to temperature and the rising sun, not a watch. The sky writes their schedule. But our institutions have professionalized being awake at 2 a.m. Hospitals, newsrooms, assembly lines, all humming under artificial suns. And this bill is coming due. In 2007, the International Agency for Research on Cancer classified night shift work as a probable carcinogen. We are paying for our elastic nights with our health. Do you see the pattern? We didn't just brighten the dark, we standardized it. Gaslight opened the streets. The filament synchronized our rooms. The punch clock rationalized our bodies. Light manufactured hours that we could sell. So this bulb on my table isn't just an antique. It's a contract. It promises that night can behave like day. But it includes a clause in fine print. Your internal midnight now has to negotiate with the market's morning. You can see the signatures on that contract everywhere today. The new blue-white LED streetlights are making entire neighborhoods feel their melatonin slide back by an hour. A single ceiling lamp can stall your sleep. And your phone? It's a pocket lantern aimed directly at your brain. Our wrists and pockets carry standard time. Push notifications are just digital shift whistles. We give ourselves jet lag without ever getting on an airplane. But you can fight back. You can make countermoves. Warm the light spectrum in your house after dusk. Dim the room and light the task, a pool of light on your book, not a flood from the ceiling. Use blackout curtains. And crucially, get bright morning light the second you wake up to anchor your clock for the day. You can even demand better from your city, shielded streetlights and warmer color temperatures that respect our circadian health. I'm cutting the power. The filament size from white to ember to a dead gray thread. The glass cools with a faint tick. And on the wall, a square of the window fills with starlight, quiet, unmetered, ancient. The verdict is in. Modern time was minted at night. And we can choose to spend it more wisely by remembering our body's original calendar and by deciding, deliberately, how much of the dark we actually want to own. And with that, the case is closed. Now I have a question for you. Look around you right now, wherever you're watching this. How many artificial lights are on? 1? 5? 15? Drop the number in the comments below. I'm fascinated to see who's in the brightest room. And if this investigation into the secret history of everyday things blew your mind, you need to watch our deep dive into how the simple pencil built the modern world. Click the box on the screen to watch that next. We do this every single day. We take an object you see all the time and reveal the incredible story behind it. To make sure you don't miss tomorrow's case file, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You'll never look at your world the same way again.